Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
It's a summer-like Thursday across central and eastern Kentucky, but it's all eyes on a November blast of air for the weekend. We'll track it coming up.
Weeks after a Domino's clerk was shot, more answers are being revealed in the case as to who is responsible. And charges have officially been filed against football players that were involved in Sunday night's BB gun scare at UK's campus. Welcome to WKYT News at 4. Take advantage of what is left of this beautiful and calm day out there across the bluegrass because some changes are headed this way. This is a live look now of the Center Point project in downtown Lexington. Showers and thunderstorms are moving in tomorrow and bringing with it some chilly air. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here now to let us know what we can expect. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Amber. Big temperature plunge obviously is in our forecast. It has been for over a week now, and that is going to arrive just in time for your weekend. Little taste of summer out there as expected this afternoon. A lot of temperatures into the low and mid 80s throughout central and eastern Kentucky. 86 in Frankfort and Covington, 84 showing up in Richmond. If you're out this evening, it's a warm one. Temperatures will stay in the 70s all the way through 11 o'clock this evening with a partly cloudy sky. Live First Alert Defender is dry across our region, but we don't have to go too far to the west now to pick up on showers and thunderstorms that are increasing. Severe weather around the St. Louis area. That big powerhouse area of low pressure and a cold front is off to the west of us, but it is making some tracks now toward the east with an increase in shower storms and gusty winds behind that. That's the blast of chill that arrives as we go into tomorrow night and for the day on Saturday. Amber, I'll come back in a little bit and we will track several things: the rain, the wind, the thunderstorms, and even wind chill temperatures for the weekend. Gets a little crazy. More on that just ahead.
You are a busy guy, Chris. Thank you. 2 arrests have been made in connection to a robbery and shooting at a Domino's in Danville. Rico Penix and Robin Adams were both arrested and charged with robbery and assault today. Now police are looking for a third suspect in that case. WKYT's Jordan Valines is tracking this case from Danville. It's our top story at 4.
This afternoon, Danville police held a press conference to announce new developments made in connection with a shooting that happened last month at a Domino's here in Danville. This morning, Danville police, alongside KSP detectives, troopers, and the ATF, attempted to serve 3 arrest warrants on suspects in connection with the robbery and shooting that left 21-year-old Zoe Reed in critical condition. Police arrested 19-year-old Rico Penix of Harrodsburg, 26-year-old Robin Adams of Lancaster, and attempted to arrest Patrick Pepe Brand of Danville, but he wasn't home at the time.
A great staff has done a great deal of work in a short amount of time, which has led to these arrests.
Coming up at 5, hear what police are saying about how the victim's family is reacting to the news of the arrest. In Danville, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
21-year-old Patrick Pepe Brand is described as a black man about 5'11" and weighs about 165 pounds. Charges have officially been filed against 4 University of Kentucky football players for a BB gun scare on the campus that caused a lockdown. Stanley Williams, Tymir DeBose, Drew Barker, and Dorian Baker are all charged with disorderly conduct. They're also suspended for Saturday's game against South Carolina. According to court documents, police say 7 friends, including the 4 players, were playing a game of manhunt with 4 airsoft BB guns Sunday night. According to those documents, police say all 7 people involved came forward the very next day. We're going to have much more on this story, including when the players will appear in court. That is coming up on WKYT News and at 5 and at 6. Louisville police have charged a man for murdering a 12-year-old boy. Police say 21-year-old Joseph Cameron has been charged with the murder of Ray Etheridge in Cherokee Park. Someone in that park found the boy's body in the woods about 4:30 Tuesday afternoon. He was in the 7th grade at Clark County Middle School in Jeffersonville, Indiana. We're going to have a live update on the investigation coming up on WKYT News at 5:30. Officials have made an arrest in a murder investigation out of Fleming County this afternoon. According to the Flemingsburg Gazette, 50-year-old Charles Black has been charged with murder. Sources close to the investigation say the victim lived in northern Kentucky and has been missing for more than a month. Human remains were found in Fleming County yesterday. Black Black is also charged with theft and tampering with physical evidence. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news that's in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A former Lexington firefighter has died in a motorcycle crash. The crash happened last night near North Middletown in Bourbon County. The coroner says 54-year-old Tim Claggett lost control of his motorcycle and then was hit by a car. He died at the scene. Claggett retired 2 years ago as a lieutenant from the Lexington Fire Department. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, you'll hear from a fellow firefighter who worked with Claggett. Corbin police investigating after a popular restaurant was badly vandalized. Police say someone broke into Hillbilly's Country Cooking Restaurant off Cumberland Falls Highway, slashed some seats and destroyed the dishwasher. They even turned on a hose inside the dining room, flooding the area.
It's just a senseless crime. I don't, why anybody would want to do that. It's going to take a lot of work to get it back together.
The restaurant is closed for now. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, you'll hear how many dollars worth of damage was done inside. A widening project on Clays Mill Road in Lexington is now complete, along with a ribbon-cutting ceremony today. The improvements near Man-O-War Boulevard include bike lanes and new sidewalks. 20-foot-tall retaining walls have also been added to that stretch, along 800 feet worth of wall. New trees are set to be planted soon along the road. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, you'll hear from neighbors who say it's a sign of progress. And that's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
All right, Sam, see you in just a bit. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. We have new details from health officials in Texas regarding the man diagnosed with the Ebola virus. Medical experts are keeping a close eye on dozens of people that he may have had contact with since arriving here in the U.S., including his girlfriend who has been quarantined. Karen Kafa has the latest.
As a man in Texas is treated for Ebola, health officials are scrambling to piece together who else could be infected. Up to 100 people may have had contact with Thomas Eric Duncan, the first Ebola patient ever diagnosed in the U.S. The Texas State Department of Health says it is casting what it calls a very wide net out of an abundance of caution. But a small group of people, more than 12 according to a federal official, is being closely monitored because of direct contact with Duncan. If any show symptoms, they will be isolated.
When you quarantine somebody, you feel that the risk is high enough. You want to make sure that you don't miss the development of symptoms and have them have contact with somebody else.
Duncan was visiting his girlfriend in Dallas and encountered her 5 children. She's now being quarantined and tells CNN she's not feeling any symptoms. But there's still much about the spread of the Ebola virus that many medical officials don't know.
Most of what we know about Ebola we have gathered from people that have already been infected with Ebola. What I'm most concerned about is that period before people start showing classic symptoms.
On September 24th, Duncan started showing those classic symptoms: abdominal pain and a low-grade fever. He arrived at Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas and told a nurse he recently visited Africa. He arrived in the U.S. from Liberia on September 20th. The hospital sent Duncan home with painkillers and antibiotics. He remains in serious but stable condition. I'm Karen Kafa reporting.
Authorities in Liberia say they plan to prosecute Thomas Duncan on charges that he lied on a health questionnaire when he said he hadn't had any contact with an infected person. Neighbors in Liberia believe that Duncan became infected when he helped bundle a sick pregnant neighbor into a taxi a few weeks ago and went with her to find treatment. The Secret Service has a new leader following the resignation of its former director. Julia Pearson stepped down yesterday after several security lapses, including an incident last month where a man carrying a knife made it all the way into the East Room of the White House. She also failed to tell the president that a security contractor with a criminal record was armed with a gun on an elevator with him in Atlanta. Retired Secret Service agent Joseph Clancy will lead the agency temporarily until a permanent replacement is named.